All right, we'll call a meeting to order. I need a motion to accept the minutes of November 10th, 2020.
Move approval.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. Current report. Right.
Yep, so summary report, we were 24 pounds under limit on nitrogen, 99.2% efficiency for BOD and 99.6 on suspended solids. And as I said last month, we're no longer running PAC or UVs for the winter, and we will turn those back on at the end of March for April. Any questions on the summary report?
Nope.
Okay.
No, I have none.
Okay.
The next is what? List of properties and sewer permits.
There's no updates to private or the public sewer construction, so I can go into the engineer's report.
Sure.
West Farms Pump Station, we finished the second pump we were putting in, new impeller volute suction elbow. So West Farms is completely upgraded, and we do have a critical spare for that station as well. Centerbrook Pump Station, we ended up replacing the transducer November 8th. I mean, they go bad every couple of years. We do stock them at the plant, so we had that put in. Allstate Pump Station, we had to pull the pump, cleaned out some debris in it. And November 18th, we cleaned the Snowberry Station wet well, vacked out everything, drained it completely, and cleaned all the floats and transducers. We also have new pumps and starters for Oakland, South Road, and Tunxus coming. Those are going to be, they're not on the report, but I just wanted to touch on it. Those are going to be the next three stations that we're going to focus on. They're pretty much the next ones we want to start doing a new INC on, and basically working on some transducers and backup floats that we do not have there yet. And the new pumps will be installed at the same time. Batterson Park Pump Station, I attached pictures to. There's 3 ones showing the completed buildings, the odor control unit, which we put in, and I think that's the second picture. And then the bracket that we made for the exhaust manifold that was inside the building. So basically when we redid the inside, we had to put a 90-degree elbow on the exhaust, which was iron. So it was extremely heavy. So we put 2 brackets that you can see on the wall to support it all. So it cleaned up a lot of the existing supports we had in there. So the whole station is complete at this point. We're working on installing a groundwater pump in one of the wells. We recently had 3 inches of rain. So we're going to try to just keep the water level down a little bit at the station and put a swale in the back. And as we go along with the PLCs, we'll add or take out any INCs that we do or don't need. We had McVac come, which is a pumping company. They cleaned out Hyde Road and Yukon, and then they also did Oakland, Corporate, and Stanley. We cleaned those before every winter just so we don't have any issues with debris or grease getting on rags, and then collecting on transducers or floats. We checked all the generators for winterization. We installed a new block here at Batterson Park. We just checked them and verified temperatures for the buildings. We fit Duke's Rudin in November. They treated Dorset, Hatters, Maiden Lane, Maple, Mill, and Pearl Street. Basically, it's a biodegradable, it's not really chemical, it's natural, but it goes and it prevents the roots from coming into the lines. So if you hit it every 3 to 5 years, it basically prevents any root buildup. Hatters had some pretty big root balls, so we made sure we took care of those.
Yeah, Mark, I was going to ask you about those because we just recently did those, and the reason why I was locked into those because my parents lived on Dorset Lane for, 45 years, and so So it seems like you've been doing those every 2 or so years.
Yeah, so what
over
it is,
there
so we
between
go in and we
Hatters
jet
Lane
them.
and.
Yeah,
so-
we jet them on our the CMON program, but if we jet them and we pull back and we see roots, we end up hitting it with the root control again to basically keep it at bay.
Yeah.
Hatters has a ton, even though it was lined a couple of years ago. It's not nearly like it was, but our idea was if we did 2 to 3 treatments, we should basically be done. So I'm hoping at this point we pretty much killed any roots that were in there for 30 years. So it should have helped.
Okay.
And with the CMON program, we're kind of winding down because we can't take the truck out when it's under freezing because the water will freeze in the back. So we jetted Burt Crossing, Canterbury, Cedar, Jefferson, Larchwood, Lake Street, Meadow, and Virginia. We're finishing Tungus Road with Motorola right now for the last INC upgrade. Repairs and maintenance at the WPCF. We replaced the polymer float. We changed grinder pressure in the transfer building. We also drained primaries 1 and 2 because we're going to run 3 and 4 over the winter. So we emptied them so there's no water in them. Greased all the sprockets, and we drained final 3. It will be empty for the winter as well, and drain the entire recycle line so there's no freezing. The brackets I touched on at Batterson, but we're also fabricating ones at the plant. So we had an old odor control unit at Batterson. We're going to take that and use it for the primaries with the existing odor control, and we're going to put it where the grease collects. So it should actually help in additional CFM rates. We added a bracket to the crane truck and installed new valves and hose on the vac truck as well. And we're still working on the nitrogen and the VFAs. And Santo Manacone from Sage Safety and Environmental, he is the new safety officer officially for us in the highway garage. He's going to continue the program we had and kind of streamline everything to e-files. So we're going to move from basically paperless at this point. So it should work out pretty well.
Anybody got any questions?
Yeah, tell me about, 1349 Farmington Avenue, Abe Cahood got approved Monday night. What are we looking at there for hookup charges for the 195 apartments
So
at the McCallum building?
yeah, so they got their master plan got approved.
Yeah,
So that basically the plan and concept and zone change is going forward, but we don't have any details as of yet. We have general building sizes, so we still have to go through and make those calculations, figure out what their assessments are going to, or zone charges are going to be, and what their connection fees are going to be. So that's still coming.
okay, so that's, yeah. And then what about the same thing for 402 Farmington Avenue? I guess that's just Sager by himself, that Dunn's not involved with that one, but that's another 150 units or so.
Right.
Yeah, which they'll look at in January.
Right. Once we get better detailed plans from them as well, we'll start going through and making those connection charges.
Yeah, okay.
Those will come before you guys for approval.
Okay.
And we have looked at it as a whole. So the Abe Codes midpoint development there by McCallum's, that ties into our interceptor. So there are no capacity issues that we have to worry about there. And as far as the Jeff Sager and Metro,
Yeah.
their apartment building, based, going off a general number, there shouldn't be a capacity issue as well over there. That should be all fine. It's just coming up with the actual connection charge, what they're going to pay.
Yeah.
How about Yorkshire? What, was there any changes for that?
No, nothing, no changes at Yorkshire.
Okay. What do we have next, Russ?
No problem. So we don't have any new business.
Just the lateral report, right?
the lateral report we got to do. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped over the lateral report.
That was the only thing. It was just Snowberry with the fee was collected for the permit, and Oakland, we repaired the existing sewer lateral on Oakland Avenue and replaced the section on Mountain Road.
Hey, Mike, I read a spot where there were some rags or something in one of the pump.
Yeah, so it was on, I'll just go back to that real quick. Allstate Pump Station. Occasionally we get them. We just clean the wet wells. So typically I would say maybe once a year we'll get them. So we clean them out and then we probably won't encounter the issue for another 12 to 18 months. Just something that happens.
Mhm. Okay.
For the most part, we haven't seen like the major problems that other cities have had during the pandemic with debris in the pumps. Hasn't been quite as bad.
How about?
What did you do at Allstate Pump?
Allstate Pump Station, we pulled it,
Yeah.
we put a new seal on it after we pulled it, just pulled the rag out. It almost looked like a mop head. So again, it's something normal that we get probably yearly at a couple of stations, but that's why we have McVac and our truck clean. We do all 17 of them once a year just to make sure we kind of head off the issue before it gets really bad.
What would be over there that would cause rags to go in there?
Anything that came through the line.
Yeah, somebody was doing some cleaning in one of the businesses and flushed the rag down.
Yeah, I mean, hard to determine. I mean, sometimes they build up over time and then they just turn into a massive rag in the wet well itself. So it might be one small piece at a time, and they just build up. To put in perspective, Yukon, if we don't clean it yearly, by this time next year, we'd probably have a rag that our crane truck couldn't pick up. So it'd probably be over 6,000 pounds.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I'll take some pictures for you, Peter.
Gee, thanks.
Why don't you bring them to the site, Mark, when you're cleaning it? That'd be more hands-on.
After we go live, you can go right to it. We don't. All
You
right.
do a Periscope, like a live one for that. But that's how it
I better watch out when I go by.
happens.
Okay, Russ, do we go into executive session now or no?
Yes, we can go into executive session.
Well, I need a motion to go into executive session.
Yes. Somebody needs to make a motion so we can go in.
I moved to go into executive session, Peter.
I did, but you didn't hear me.
So
I
Kevin,
said, I
Kevin
moved
made,
to go into executive session.
need a
I
second.
asked to go into, I need a motion to go into executive session. I said it, but nobody heard me.
And Kevin made the motion, Peter. We need a second now.
Second.
Okay, we're in, Pete. We're in. So let me just stop recording. Yep, someone needs to make a motion to come out of executive session.
So
Yep.
Get a second?
Second.
All,
All right.
all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passed. Thank you, everybody.
And that's it. No, there's no other business to come before the authority that I know of. Mark, do you have anything?
I'm all set unless there's any questions. Anybody have any other comments?
No, I'm good.
All right.
I'm good.
Okay, Peter.
Everybody, have a safe and enjoyable Christmas.
You also.
You as well.
Thanks, Pete.
Everybody, happy holidays. Have a great time. Be safe, be healthy, and let's get through this quick.
Happy holidays, y'all.
Okay, motion to adjourn, Peter?
Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Thanks.
Thank you,
All
everybody.
in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passed.
All right, we're adjourned, Peter.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you,
Good
everyone.
night. Be safe.